Hi, so I'll show you how to do lab 4 of 285, which is part 1 is superposition and then part 2 is source transformation. So for the superposition lab, first let's connect our 82 flywire, and then you have a positive power supply, and that's in series with a 1K resistor. And then after that, that's going to be in parallel with a 3K resistor, and that's going to be connected to our ground. Okay, and then you have a 2K resistor, and then that is in parallel with the 9-volt supply. So here's my 9-volt battery, and I'll put that in parallel with that resistor. So let me scoot it over to the left a bit. Perfect. And then positive terminal, the negative terminal of the supply. It's all connected. Perfect. And then there is a negative supply right at that terminal. And so now everything's connected. Let's go to waveforms, go to supply. So the positive voltage is supposed to be 5 and the negative voltage is supposed to be 2.5, but I'll just make them both 2.5 just for this demonstration. And then turn on the master supply. And then the objective is to measure across R3. And in this case, that is going to be the 3K resistor right there. So I will place the first probe of my supply, of my scope at across the resistor, sorry, and then I'm going to also need ground. So let me find a black wire and connect that right there. So now let's turn on our scope. Oh, not scope, sorry. Our voltmeter, and then turn on our voltmeter. And so you get roughly 5 volts, which makes sense. And now on to the second part. So let's turn off all these supplies. And the second part is source transformation. So you have a positive supply. Let's take off the 9 volts. It's not needed anymore. So we have the positive supply in series with the 1K resistor. And then you have another 1K resistor connected to ground. And then you have a 2K resistor, and that's connected to the negative voltage, so the white cable. And then you're going to need a ground for that end of that 1K resistor. Perfect. And the objective is to measure across the 2K resistor, so I'll place my scope across that resistor in parallel with it. So the positive terminal being the darker orange and the negative terminal being the lighter orange. Connect that, make sure the fly wire is connected because it has a tendency to be loose. And then go to my power supplies. And it's supposed to be a positive voltage and a negative 1.5. In this case, I'll just apply 4 and then a negative 4.5 to each and see if I can see a reading. And from that voltage, it makes sense, but obviously you would need to change the voltage to match the circuit diagram of the part. Furthermore, if you change the pins of the voltmeter, so now if I change it so that it's not dark orange, it's not the positive pin, the negative pin, so that it's the negative pin first, then the positive pin, you should observe a negative voltage. So let me flip that around. And then go here, so you get a negative voltage, which makes sense.